Hello, I'm Cutsy, and happy Thursday. Please hit the like and subscribe button on your way in if you would be so kind. That helps me out a bunch. And so let's get right into it. I'm going to be talking about a story today while I bling out my nails. This is part 2 from yesterday with the press-on application. I'm just going to be doing some fun little cutesy stuff to my nails, but I wanted to talk about a story that is 15 years old. It's a cold case. It was out of Adrian, Michigan. This happened when my first son was born, and it really, really hit me hard in the mommy heart, so to speak. And so just trigger warning, this is a horribly sad story, but there's hopefully, there is some respect finally given to these victims. Oh gosh. So this all starts in 2010. Was my son's very first Thanksgiving, actually. And 3 boys, Andrew, Alexander, and Tanner Skelton, disappeared while they were with their father, John Skelton, at Thanksgiving in 2010. They have not been found despite countless searches of woods and water in Michigan and Ohio and tips from across the country. Police suspect John Skelton is responsible, though he's not been charged with killing his sons, who were aged 9, 7, and 5. They have no proof. He gave a million stories and told police that they were with a friend, that he had dropped them off somewhere, that he couldn't remember where they were. It's just horrible. Well, 15 years later, their mother is finally able to go to court to have these boys declared deceased. And her reasoning is, she says that they deserve the respect that they didn't get at the end of their young lives. And I just can't imagine. All 3, I'm a boy mom. And it's one of the parts of my life that I absolutely love. It gets rough some days because they're rough and they're tough and they're tearing up my house. But I wouldn't change it for the world. And I just want to read you this story. I've got a couple others in case to go through, in case it doesn't give all the details. But this article was published on KMBC website. It's by a gentleman named Ed White from the Associated Press. And the title is, Michigan Mom Seeks Respect for Her 3 Missing Boys, Asks Judge to Declare Them Dead. Adrian, Michigan. The mother of 3 missing Michigan boys asked a judge Monday to declare them dead nearly 15 years later, saying that they deserve the respect that they didn't get at the end of their young lives. We may not have their bodies, but their lives still meant something. Tanya Zuffers testified near the end of an unusual hearing in Lenawee County in southern Michigan. Leelanau's up north. But I dare you to try and pronounce either of them by sight. So anyway, let's continue. She agreed when her lawyer asked if she wants death certificates so she can put a formal date on a headstone and feel some closure. Any loving father would not have killed them. I owe them this respect, Zuffers, 58, said. Andrew, Alexander, and Tanner Skelton disappeared while they were with their father, John Skelton, on Thanksgiving in 2010. They have not been found despite countless searches of woods and water in Michigan and Ohio and tips from across the country. Police suspect John Skelton is responsible, though he has not been charged with killing his sons, who were aged 9, 7, and 5. By November, he's expected to complete a 15-year prison sentence for his failure to return the boys to Zuffers, the only conviction in this saga. I'm confident they're deceased, said Larry Weeks, who is police chief in Morenci, a town near the Ohio border, and initially he led the investigation. Weeks and other in law enforcement explained the case to Judge Catherine Sala, who will determine this week whether to declare the boys dead. Investigators said they chased countless leads, even checking for DNA on a baseball found at an Ohio campground where Skelton's phone gave off signals in the middle of the night. Police in 2018 responded when 3 sets of bones were found in Montana, but that too didn't pan out. My sons are out there in the world with somebody they don't know, Zuffer said. One of them would just tell the person next to them, "This isn't Mom or Dad. I know that if you call this number, my mom will answer." She said there's no doubt they're gone. Skelton, 53, appeared in court by video from prison and said he did not want to participate. It's the father. Well, I use that term relatively. "Anything I say isn't going to make a difference," he told Judge, speaking through a TV screen. Skelton and Zuvers were having problems in fall of 2010 and living apart in Morenci. The boys were with their father at Thanksgiving, but were supposed to go back to their mom the next day. Instead, they were just gone. While Skelton was in a hospital with a strange ankle injury that same day, investigators entered his home and found a mess with broken glass, severed appliance cords, a noose hanging from the second floor, and a Bible was opened with a verse circled. A note apparently left for Zuvers said, "You will hate me forever, and I know this." FBI agent Corey Burris testified. This was his passive admission to killing his children, Burris said. Skelton was confronted by his church pastor about the brothers. "I sent them home," Burris said, quoting Skelton as referring to heaven. Investigators found nothing when they searched an old schoolhouse in Kunkel, Ohio, at Skelton's suggestion, and a dumpster in Holiday City, Ohio. Claims that the boys were handed to other people for their safety were also false, Weeks said. Skelton's computer showed searches for whether rat poison can kill people and instructions for how to break a neck, the police chief said. Detective Sergeant Jeremy Brewer of the state police said he has frequently visited Skelton in prison. He would talk about everything under the sun, his family, the weather, sports, prison life, Brewer testified, but if I ever directed the conversation about why I was truly there or about the boys, he would shut down. He didn't trust anyone. In Morenci, there's a plaque with the boys' names and images attached to a rock at a park near Bean Creek. It says faith, hope, and love. And that's the end of the article, and that's all the details we've ever gotten. And this is one of those cases where I don't know why. I don't know, again, is it because I'm a boy mom? Is it because this happened when my son was only months old and I was already emotional? And I don't know, but it has stuck with me. And I found myself frequently throughout the years, just their images just popping in my head and just always wondering whatever happened to them. And if there was some slight chance that he had just dropped them somewhere. But 15 years, they'd be adults now. And they'd be able to get away and say where they were, say who had them, say what had happened, and they just haven't. And so this is a sad state, and so their mother now had to go in front of a judge and have them declared deceased. I have clips of all of that, which I will put in a playlist on my page so you can see those. The judge in this case, I did pretty good. I'm a crier, and I cry when I'm mad, I cry when I'm sad, I cry when I'm happy. I'm just a crier. And I don't know how this judge, I lost it trying to listen to her give her judgment. Just such an absolutely heartbreaking case. And you just see that so much with so many children. There's so many children missing and gone. And sadly, most of it is at the hands of people who they were supposed to be able to love and trust beyond a doubt. These were people that were supposed to keep them safe. And like with this, the only reason I can ever think that he would do this is just to hurt his ex-wife. And I don't understand that. I mean, of course, that has to be some kind of mental illness. I don't mean that to me, it doesn't mean he's not guilty, but at this point, I hope that someday he tells her or tells somebody what happened so that maybe their mother can get a little bit of closure. I don't know how much closure you can get losing all of your children in one day. I mean, very similar to my previous video, and that wasn't an accident. You don't get behind the wheel of a car when you have a seizure disorder, when you're on neuropathy medication, when you've been drinking. You don't do that and then say it was an accident when you end the lives of people because you were being irresponsible. And that's just flat it. That's it. And yeah, I'm going to show a picture at the end here of the plaque that's in the boy's honor. It's quite sweet. And I still remember their little faces. This, I think, is one of those cases that not just myself, but a lot of people in this state will remember, especially with it coming up now. It's such a tragedy. And how do we make sure that things like this don't happen? Is there a way that us, the healthy-minded adults in the world, can stop these horrible, horrible crimes against children? It just doesn't seem fair. And prayers to this mother who has to now go again in what I feel like is probably losing her children a second time, because now she's going to have a date to put on their tombstones. And prayers for the other family that was hit by the negligent driver, the court case that I showed yesterday. I'm going to try and show some more of that today. Updates should be coming for that at lunch. And yeah, just be responsible. Tell your kids you love them, and have a great day. Love you guys. Cutsy out.